All right, hello everyone, wherever you are on this glorious planet. Welcome to my channel on Bible topics. If you don't believe in the Bible, you're atheist, agnostic, or anywhere else in between, still stay. Because we all got to remember this. The Bible is I didn't say it's is one of the oldest texts in human history. It's been around for thousands of years. And for the most part, as far as I know, no one has ever said everything in that book is a lie. There may be some, but for the most part, people do not disaffirm it. So, welcome to stay. Our topic of the day, like I said, I like to talk about things that you don't hear in the church or the synagogue, wherever. Humans being human. So, my theme is just showing human being humans in the Bible. Nothing magical. So, it's not even really religious in a point. If you want to know about some Bible characters, Bible people, this is for you and how they acting fully human. The Bible is not a book the Bible is a book that shows human being exactly human. Let's come from Genesis chapter 12. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt, which is in Africa, to live there for a while because the famine was severe. And as you can see, Abraham has a relationship with the Egyptians because he went to their country, so he must know who he was. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarah, I know what a beautiful woman you are. We don't see that much. Whenever Hollywood portrays Sarah, she's just plain Jane. But according to this passage, she's extremely beautiful. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, This is his wife. Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, which is true because Sarah was his half sister. So that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. There, here we see right there. I don't even gotta go far. Human being human. As you know, if you know anything about the Bible, Abraham is basically the patriarch of the Bible. He's almost one of the founding figures after like Noah, Adam. Yeah, he's one of the founding central figures in the Bible. He's the father, he's the granddaddy of the Hebrew Israelite nation. But the point here is he was acting like a human. He didn't want to die. He didn't want to. He wasn't acting all huffy puffy religious. He said, Look, just tell him that you're my sister, which was not a complete lie, so that I can live. So you see here, people in the Bible, they act completely human. Abraham wanted to live. When Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarah was a very beautiful woman. So it backs it up. The Bible said it, the writer who wrote this. Then the Egyptians say she's very, and they didn't say she's beautiful. She's very beautiful. See, human being human. We know that people in the Bible was extremely attractive. And when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh. They went back to humans being humans. They went back to Pharaoh and told him all about, we saw this dragged out, not dead lady. You gotta come and see her. And she was taken to his palace. He treated Abram well for her sake because he thought that was her brother. And Abram acquired sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. So, human being humans, he was so impressed by Sarah's beauty that he gave him plenty of gifts. So we see right there Abraham, Sarah, and the Egyptians act like normal humans. They saw a woman. They said, I gotta have her. It's not good to lust after somebody, but you get the point. This is Genesis chapter 26. When the men of the palace asked him about his wife, he said, She is my sister. Okay, so something else. But let's see who this person is. Because he was afraid to say, She is my wife. He thought the men of this place might kill me on account of Rebecca. So this is another beautiful woman. Rebecca. I think this is Isaac's wife. because she is beautiful. So we see two ladies here beautiful, which Hollywood won't do. Uh, Rebecca is beautiful. Sarah is beautiful. And we see how Abraham and his son act. They don't want to die. When Isaac had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked down from a window and saw Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. So he did love his wife. See, they was out there in the yard kissing. So Abimelech summoned Isaac and said, "She is really your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" Isaac answered him, "Because I thought I might lose my life on account of her." He didn't want to die. Then Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the men might well have slept with your wife, and you will have brought guilt upon us." So they were spiritual. He said, if we sleep with another man's wife, hey, something disastrous is going to happen to us. So we see right here Rebecca being human, protecting her husband. Isaac being human, he don't want to die a needless death. And the king Abimelech's being human because he said, hey, we feel guilt for sleeping with your wife, man. All right, this coming from Genesis chapter 16. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, had borne him no children. She was barren at that time. But she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." So we see right here, people, you may not like it, but we see Sarah is being human. Human. She can't have children. So she wants children. Don't people do that today? Have surrogate children for women? They may have their husband's seeds and plant it in them. Well, they may have the wife and the husband's seed. Or they had that egg that was fertilized by the husband and planted into another womb, and that lady carries the child for 9 months and give birth to that child. But they didn't have that technology in Abraham's day. So all he could do was just sleep with another woman, and his wife would take that as her child. But you see, she wanted a child so bad that she was going to give her husband to another woman. Abram agreed to what Sarah said because he wanted a child too. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarah, his wife, took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar and she conceived. And now this but most people didn't see this. So you see they was living there for 10 years. So they had a relationship with Hagar. Hagar wasn't just some random woman off the street. They knew who she was. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. See? Human being human. She said, "I'm going to have a baby from your husband, and you can't. I'm better than you." She was looking down on Sarah. Then Sarah said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I'm suffering." See, now she putting her finger at her husband, human being human. She said it was her idea to have Hagar sleep with him. Now she's upset because Hagar is messing with her. "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I'll put my slave in your arms. Now that she has known she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Your slave is in your hands." So Abraham just to say, do what you want to do with her. Abram said, "Do with her whatever you think best." Then Sarah mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. See, like I said, the Bible, people act like normal people. You see now, Abraham said, "Do whatever you want," and Sarah did whatever she want. She treated Hagar so bad, Hagar had to leave. This is Exodus chapter 14, verse 10 to 12. Again, my theme, human being human. Nothing, no magic mumbo, no miracles, no nothing. So everybody can listen to this. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians marching after them. So the Egyptians chasing the Israelites when they crossed that particular sea. They were terrified and cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die. See, human being human. They was terrified of Pharaoh and his chariots coming. So the only person who they could blame was Moses. So they, being human, they turned right around and blamed him. Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone. Let us serve the Egyptians. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die here in the desert. See what they doing? God did so many miracles for him. Now I'm going to talk about the miracles he did for the atheists here. But if you know about Exodus, God did a lot of miracles to get them out of Egypt. And now that Pharaoh is chasing them, all their faith, all the miracles that they saw is flown out the window. Moses answered the people, do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. So Moses said, okay, God going to help us out. But my main thing is the people act human. When you're terrified and scared, you're going to blame somebody, which they did. This is Numbers chapter 12. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, where he had married a Cushite. See, is that racism? I don't know. It didn't say she's an Israelite. It said she's a Cushite. So, no, it's not racist because they're not talking about her color. They just have something against her ethnicity, her land of origin. She came from Cushite, so they didn't care what color she was. They just said she's a Cushite. She's not an Israelite. Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? So now they say, hey, look, Moses. See, they beating their chest. He said, God just didn't speak to you. He spoke to us. They asked, has he also spoken through us? Like I just not said. And the Lord heard this, so that pissed God off. So we're going to see how the Lord reacted to this. Now, Moses was a very humble man, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth, allegedly. And once the Lord said to Moses, Aaron and Miriam, come out to the tent of meeting, all three of you. So there they went out to the tent with him. Then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud. He stood at the entrance of the tent and summoned Aaron and Miriam. And the two of them stepped forward, and he said, listen to my words. See, now we're saying they're going to pay the consequences. When there is a prophet among you, the Lord reveal myself to them in dreams. Yes, he does. I speak to them in dreams or in visions. But this is not true of my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. Of him I speak face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. He sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? See, that's what God's saying, which a lot of people don't do this day. He said, look, this person know God. You see God's power flow through them. You see he asked that prayer. Shouldn't you be a little more contrite and humble around that person? But no. Most human, when God is with you, they see his power in you, they get uppity on you. The anger of the Lord burned against them, and he left them. When the cloud lifted from above the tent, Miriam's skin was leprous. Okay, here we go with leprosy. It became as white as snow. There we go. So what color was she before? People don't like to say about that. Her skin became white. So what was she before that? Aaron turned toward her and saw that she had a defiling skin disease. Having white skin was a skin disease, people. I'm going to say that again. Having white skin, having skin like snow, and they use the color white. They use the color white. To have white skin like snow in the Bible time was called a disease. And he said to Moses, please, my Lord, I ask you not to hold against us the sin we have so foolishly committed by saying, does God only speak to you? Don't let her be like a stillborn infant coming out from his mother's womb. Yes, you know, when infants are born, they usually look very pale looking, regardless of their skin tone when they get older. All of them look pale. Is when with his flesh half eaten. So let's move on. Now we're coming to Samuel chapter 8, still the Old Testament. When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel leaders. Okay, a lot of people do that, don't they? When they get old and feeble, they let their sons run the company, or run the, be the managers, whatever, of the company. The name of his first one was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah, and they served at Beersheba. But his sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted. Just like I said, people, humans being human. Every human not going to be upright, law abiding, diligent, and steadfast. Some going to be dishonest. Some going to accept bribes. Like I said, people, the people in the Bible, they act like humans. So I'm gonna go and let you read the rest because that was my main theme. Because I want to hold you up, people. You can read the rest from 4 on down. So let's move on to the next one. I just want to get to the main theme, but people being how they act. This is First Samuel chapter 28. Now Samuel was dead. May he rest in peace. And all Israel had mourned for him and buried him in his own town of Ramah. Saul had expelled the mediums and spiritists from the land. Yes, like when Saul was in his early stages of being a king, he got of all the fortune tellers, the mediums, and all them type of people. He threw them all out. The Philistines assembled and came and set up camp at Shunem, while Saul gathered all Israel and set up at Camp Gilboa. When Saul saw the Philistines' army, here we go, he was afraid. Terror filled his heart. Now he's the king, but kings have still normal human emotions. Saul was afraid. He was filled with terror. He would inquire of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him by dreams or Urim or prophets. Saul then turned to other attendants, but no one helped him. But we see my main theme, people. I said, human being human. King Saul was a human. When he saw superior force, he quaked in his boots in terror. This 2 Samuel chapter 11. Like I said, I'm just going to read some of it. I'll let you read the rest. One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. So this is King David. That could say his palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. Uh-oh. Is he being a peeping Tom? The woman was very beautiful. Like I said in the Bible, very. It didn't just say beautiful. It got the adjective. Very beautiful. And David sent someone to find out about her. The man said she is Bathsheba, the daughter of Elam, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Then David sent messengers to get her. Uh-oh, see, David doing wrong already. He sent his people to go get her. He's breaking the 10 Commandments already. He lusted after another man's wife. But like I said, my theme is human acting human. She came to him and he slept with her. See? Doing wrong. Now, she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanness. So, when she was out there, she was doing her normal thing. She was making herself clean. Then she went back home. The woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. I'm going to stop right there. Because I'm going to let you read. You can go to 2 Samuel chapter 11 and you can read the whole tale if you want. I just gave you a, a nugget of what happened. I'm going to let you read the rest. You read the rest. Because he did more. He did more to Uriah. But we just see David had lust in his heart. He was still acting like a normal human. And you know right now, the Jews uplift David. But he was a normal human. Normal man. Alright, this is Genesis chapter 38. After a long time, Judah's wife, the daughter of Shua, died. When Judah had recovered from his grief, see, human being human, in the Bible, when your wife died, you cry and fall out. That's what Judah did. He went up to Timnah, to the men who were shearing his sheep and his friends Harah, the Aldamite, went with him. When Tamar was told, your father-in-law is on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep, she took off her widow's clothing, because there's a whole tale behind her. So you have to go to Genesis chapter 37 to learn about this ordeal with Tamar. She took off her widow's clothes, covered herself with a veil to disguise herself, and then she sat down at the entrance to the Em, which is on the road to Tamar. For she saw that though Selah had now grown up, she had not been given to him as a wife. See right there. I'm not going to go into the details, but she was promised to be given Sheila to be her his wife. But the father-in-law never did it for reasons that only he can hold. But you have to read Genesis chapter 37 to find out why. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. So I guess that's what they did back in those days. Not realizing that she was his daughter-in-law, he went over to her by the roadside and said, come now, let me sleep with you. So soon after his wife died, but we don't know how long his wife was dead, Judah slept with this lady, but the reason she slept with him, she didn't have any children, her husband was dead, and Judah did not give her the son Sheila to be his wife, so she slept with him. But my thing, like I said, in that Bible, it showed people act like humans. Judah cried over his wife. He lied to Tamar. So Tamar got him to do different acts of Judah. But you have to read out to find out. All right, this is the book of Ruth. I'm only going to read some of it. Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, go back, each of you, to your mother's home. Because here Naomi lost everything. She lost her husband, her sons, and she told her daughter-in-law to go back. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to your dead husbands, as I said, and me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband. So we're seeing she's being a human. Her sons were died. So she said, I can't help you. You go back, find another husband, and live a good life. A good mother-in-law she was. Then she kissed him goodbye, and they wept aloud and said to her, we will go back with you to your people. So most of the daughter-in-laws went back except Ruth. But Naomi said, return home. Return home, my daughters. So she's talking to all her daughters, Ruth included. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight, then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grow up? See, she's being realistic. She's saying by the time they become 18 or whatever, you'll probably be in menopause. So don't even wait. Go back and get another husband. Will you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters. It's more bitter for me than for you. She said, it's going to hurt me if you stay here without no husband. So go back home.